Well, thank you for coming on the Red Carpet Roundtable podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Can you tell a little bit about yourself to the audience?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ahnnika Velasquez. I'm in eighth grade. I'm 13 years old, and I'm in the entertainment business. So I act, I model, I sing, I dance, and I do a bit of martial arts.
There's a lot you said there. So we'll go. Let's begin to where what attracted you to begin your career in this entertainment industry as being a young actress.
Well, ever since I was little, I used to always love watching all of these TV shows like Bunked and Jessie. And I would always watch the characters and how they act. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them one day. So I would actually like memorize some of the lines. And then I would go in front of the TV while they were saying those lines and I would act like I would act at the same time as them. And my mom would be like, whoa. And that just really encouraged me to start in this business.
And what have you noticed was the most challenging so far being in this and being in the entertainment industry?
I feel like the most challenging thing is definitely rejection because, if you audition and you don't get it, sometimes you're like, wait, I feel like I did really good on this. Like, what? And then you wonder what they're looking for. Like, I know whenever I don't get an audition, or whenever I don't book a role,
Mhm.
um, I always, whenever the show comes out, I watch it on TV and I'm like, wait, what did they do that I didn't do? So that just, yeah, I think that's the hardest part.
And you moved from San Francisco to LA. And
Yeah.
what was your prime decision for yourself and your family to move from San Francisco to LA? Because I think a lot of people must be wondering, oh, it's not that far, right? You can fly or drive to LA. So was it because you wanted to aim more for the entertainment industry? You want to feel closer to home, if you want to call it?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, when I was in San Francisco, I went to a couple of showcases where I got an agent, and they were like, if you want to be more close to the entertainment and where all of the opportunities are, then the closest place is LA because that's where a bunch of auditions are, and usually when you submit for a role, they ask like, "Are you local to LA?" And usually, you sort of have to if you want to book the role.
I didn't know they would ask that. So they would ask you that if why you're in San Francisco or why you're in LA.
Yeah, usually, whenever I look on the casting network site and there's like a submission that I'm submitting for, they're like, please make sure you're close to LA because we don't want someone that's all the way in the Bay Area or something having to drive down because
Okay. Hmm.
sometimes if you book a role, they'll want you in for wardrobe the next day, and that's going to be really hard if you have to like fly or drive all the way down.
Hmm. And so you're in eighth grade. Well, let's dig a little bit in your school life. Um, your school life is you have homework, you have your all your activities in your regular, right? Regular teenager life. We all know that. I'm in there. Um, so how do you maintain your life as a teenager, your friends, you're going to school, or if you play sports, and then how do you find time? Because I know you have auditions and you have to go to on set. So how do you maintain your life around all that?
Yeah, well, usually my schedule is really busy because I have school for 6 hours and then I have a bunch of homework and then I also have dance 3 times a week and then I also have acting classes. So sometimes it's hard to manage, but usually at school I do my homework and sometimes I'll have some after school, but if I'm lucky, I don't. And then I go to dance and if I do have an audition, sometimes I stay up really late to finish it, but it's all worth it. And once I stayed up really late to do an audition and I even booked the role. So I was like, whoa.
That's amazing. And how do you try to stay positive? Because like we were like I was talking about, school life, right? And homework and I think I'm aiming more like friends and your own free time. So how do you get your mind or try to get some free time so you can like focus just yourself and like not focus on auditioning and stuff like that?
Well, usually my weekends are pretty free, but even sometimes after school, I'll just ask my friends, "Hey, do you guys want to go to the park or something?" And they'll be like, "Sure." And also they're really supportive of me, so they understand if I can't hang out. And also I hang out with them at school. So, yeah.
So are you doing acting class at school as well, or or just on the side as professional acting classes?
My school actually has a drama club that I'm thinking about joining. And we also have our TV program. And I was thinking about joining that next year because I feel like it'll really help with speaking on
Mhm.
camera and stuff like that. But right now, I'm only doing acting classes outside of school.
Okay. Let's dig deep into auditions now, because I know a lot of people have questions. Auditions. So how do you prepare for auditions? Because a lot of upcoming young actors and actresses are wondering, how do you prepare for an audition? How do you prepare getting no or yes or getting a lot of no's? So what's your advice for a lot of young upcoming actors and actresses?
Well, auditioning, I know it can be really hard and it feels like a lot of pressure, especially if you have to balance school and your activities and friends and all of that stuff. But if you really just, if you really want to do acting, you'll put in all of that work and it'll all be worth it in the end. And if you get a yes, that's amazing. And that's, that'll really help encourage you in the future and that'll make you much more confident.
Right. That's
And, but if you get a no, that's also okay because, sometimes you'll just want to after you get a no, you'll just want to lay in your bed and start crying. But you can do that to get all of your feelings out. But after that, I feel like it'll really help pick yourself up and just keep trying harder the next time.
that's a very good advice, and you got to keep the courage and passion going, right? Because
Yeah.
being in the entertainment industry, I don't know if you agree, but it's a tough industry because you got to keep that courage and keep that fighting passion in you, right? I guess if you don't have that courage or passion, then it's kind of like, if you mind me saying this, it's kind of like hard. Why are you in it, right? Kind of like that. It's kind of like, you know, but I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. Now, your acting roles. Um, Out of all your actings, and we'll talk individual about them, which one is your favorite acting role that you've done so far?
My favorite acting role was definitely probably my most recent one, which was for a Barbie Dream Besties promo ad, where it was between these two girls. There were actually 4 episodes, so there were only 8 or 12 girls who got in out of the 10,000 girls who submitted. So I felt really lucky to get booked for that role, and that was probably my favorite because it was just super fun and I could be natural during it. I could be myself. And in the episode, it was like an IRL video game. And I was the gamer, and then my friend, who was my dream bestie Barbie, was the character. So I actually got to like move her around and use a controller, and we had to find these pink buttons to complete the levels. So that was really fun, and I just felt like I could be myself.
And how did you find out about the Barbie role?
Okay, so we were looking on casting networks and also my agents, they submitted it for me and I have a good story for this. Um, so this was about a week before I went to Hawaii. So I worked with my acting coach on this audition and um it was like really fun. We got to dance with it and all of that stuff. And I thought I did really good on it. So the next week I went to Hawaii and I was with all of my friends. And then we were going down to the pool. Then my mom was getting a text from my agent and they were like, she just booked the role. She just booked the role. And I was like, whoa, I was tearing up in the elevator. And then my mom was like, oh my gosh. It was so funny though, because my friends were all laughing along too. And they were being really supportive. They were like, "Oh my gosh, congratulations!" And yeah, that's really how I got the role.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations. Was it always your dream to be on a Barbie commercial?
Yes, I always saw those. I used to watch Disney Junior a lot, and I know that there would always be these Barbie ads that would show up, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's so cool! I want to be on that so bad." And then I got it.
So, a curious question. Let me guess, you saw the Barbie movie then.
Yeah,
What did you think of it?
it was really good. Actually, one of my friends, Briley, was in it, and I was like, "Whoa, that is so cool!" But it was really good. I love that. I think it really spreaded a nice positive message.
Hmm. And I totally agree. It was a good movie, 100%. Now, which out of all the roles you play, what was the most challenging, difficult role you played so far?
I definitely think that it was also the Barbie one because we mostly had to improv during the scenes, and I'm I'm pretty good at improv, but I'm also not the best. I do have sort of a hard time with it because I feel like I just repeat stuff over and over. But yeah, I think that was definitely um like the hardest or
Hmm.
like the most challenging role.
Wow. And what's your favorite genre? Your dream role you want to be in?
I really want to be in a horror role, and um I know it really doesn't seem like I would be in horror, but I love watching horror movies and shows. Like I really like the new Squid Games, and people think I'm weird when I like seeing them getting like murdered and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like it just it doesn't touch me in a good way, but it like really makes me feel something. Like once they die, I'm like really sad, but also when they're getting killed, I just imagine like filming that, just being like pew, pew, pew.
Okay, time out. You said a lot right there. So, I have to ask you, why do you like horror movies? There has to be a reason.
I've just really been like even since I was little, my mom would always put on this show. She would always put on 911 and I would watch it and I would be like, whoa, that is so interesting. So I started with that and I'm just really into like I feel like every horror also has like a mystery behind it. And
Hmm.
I'm also really into mystery horror stuff. So I feel like that really makes me like horror.
Very interesting. I think a lot of people have learned a lot about you right now. Right there. So your dream role, we already know is a horror movie.
Yeah.
So which one out of there's so many horror movies I can name so many. What is your favorite horror movie?
Okay, my favorite horror movie, it came out pretty recently, I think, either early 2024 or late 2023, but it's called Time Cut. And it's about this girl who's in high school and she had a sister, but in 2003 her sister got murdered by by a serial killer
Hmm.
and three other people from her sister's school also got murdered, and they were all like really close and they were best friends. And it was the mystery behind it was like, who is this murderer? Like, and why are they doing this? And at the end, they revealed that the murder was actually the best friend or the sister's friend, but in a different time period, which
Isn't
is
this
really weird.
maybe you can correct me. Isn't this on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've seen it once. It's actually a pretty good movie. She has to go back in time, right?
Yeah.
and figure out who the murderer was, right?
Yeah.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie. I thought you were gonna say like a paranormal movie or something. But that's a good movie. Now more into you, and you can correct me. Your mother raised you. Was that correct? And it's
Yes.
just, and you can correct me. It's just you and your mother.
Well, it's just me and my mom, but I live with my grandparents and then my two dogs.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to ask. So, um, you know, a lot of people must be curious. It took a lot of sacrifice for you and your mother to move, to LA and, continue your life into the entertainment industry. And who was it that decided to like this is for you, like this is my decision. I want to continue it. Like I know that's a weird question, but I'm gonna rephrase it. Like, was it you or was it your mother who saw you being an actress? That's the right way I want to ask.
Honestly, I think it was really me and my mom just really supported me a lot from
hmm
the backside. Like, um, I remember I would always be like, "Whoa, an audition. Can we go audition for this?" And actually that was my first role because I asked to go, so I saw an audition and I was like, "Wait, it's an open casting call. Can I go audition for this? It's really local." And then my mom was like, "Okay, I'll drive you there." It was like 2 hours away. And I actually booked the job and it was for a streaming app. And that's when I really realized that this is what I want to do. So I really think that it was me who wanted
hmm
to stream. And yeah.
That's amazing. I was trying to find a right way to ask you that question. So, pardon, sorry about that. But um, when you're a little child, maybe when you're 6 years old, did you ever thought you would see yourself now being an actress coming this far, or did you see yourself being something else or doing something else?
Actually, when I was little, I always thought I was gonna be a doctor. And I thought I would be a doctor at like the age of 15. I'm not 15 yet, but I thought I would be a doctor at 15. So I don't think 6 year old me would see myself here right now.
hmm
I think she would think that I'm in a hospital, like asking people how they feel.
That's really amazing that you want to be a doctor and here you are. Because dream can be anything, and it's just, to me, it just talks about passion and courage and not giving up what you want to do,
Yeah.
right? And that's one thing I love about the entertainment industry, and we keep going, and that's the passion. Because also one thing I noticed about the entertainment industry is like we all are a family. All the actors, we support each
Yes,
other.
definitely.
It doesn't matter where we're living. It's like we're all connecting somehow, right?
Yeah.
It's
Like online, I always see everyone and I'm reacting. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Like, I just feel like we're all connected and that we're all just, yeah, a big family.
yes, that's true. Um, Now I believe this is correct, but you were at the Young Artist Awards, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
And how was that?
That was super fun. I didn't get nominated for anything, but it was still really fun to just support all of my friends. And that's also what part of being a big family is. Just
hmm
even if you're not nominated for
Right,
something or even if you don't win something, like I still always go and support them. I always do what I can just to brighten their day
right.
at least a little.
Well, it's amazing that you get to go and experience, but to me, it's actually really awesome that you get to see, excuse me, all the young actors and actresses and directors and producers all in one room. I
Yeah.
get to see everybody what work they've done, and you cheer them on. So it's amazing, like so like Caden and all the other actors and actors out there. The list goes on, but that's she
Yes.
came up on my head first. Um, Now I want to dig into your your modeling career now. What attracted you to begin your modeling? Because a lot of people may not notice you became a model and you traveled to Paris and how was that? So what made you get into modeling?
Well, since I was little, I would always it really started watching all of these like Disney Channel and these Disney princesses because I would always see their dresses and I was like, "Wait, oh my goodness, I want to be just like them." So, I would always actually go upstairs and put my dresses on and then I would go to the end of my hallway and I would be like I would just walk down the hallway and then I would just pretend I was on a runway and that's really what made me want to be a model.
Wow. And if you had to choose modeling or acting, which one would you choose?
Okay, this is a really, really hard one. Honestly, I would lean a little bit more to the acting side, even though I love modeling. I feel like acting really suits me more because I feel like acting, you have a lot of variety where
Mhm.
modeling, it's really just either print or runway. For acting, you have a bunch of different genres. You could be a producer, a writer, or just an actor. But I feel like there's just a lot more variety in acting.
Very true. Do you see yourself being a director or producer?
I think I would see myself as a writer because at school in my English class, whenever I write, I always get really good scores on that. So I feel like I could write really well. And like if I really put my mind onto one script and focus on that for a while, I feel like I could write really well and I could actually make a movie out of that or a show.
That's amazing. What's your dream show or movie you want to make?
My dream show or movie, do you mean like my own or like something
Your
similar
own. Your
to?
own. I'm sorry, your
Okay.
own.
Um, Well, I would definitely want to make it more horror mystery based. Or like, well, horror mystery based, but like, add a bit of comedy here and there. Just a bit, just to really engage the
Mhm.
watchers. Um, but I would want to make it really similar to Squid Games because I feel like that has a really interesting plot and
Okay, okay.
I really like that.
So you like the TV show Squid Game on Netflix? Okay,
Yes.
I love him. I love it. I didn't know it's crazy as a young actress who loves horror movie. Supposedly they're gonna make. I think they're making another Squid Game movie, TV movie,
Yeah.
right? TV movie, TV show. I say movie, but um. So let's talk about Squid Game since you love horror movies. Um. So far, what do you think of the Squid Game? What do you think? What's your 2 or 3 or 4 cents of it?
I think it's really great. And the first season, the first time I actually watched it was like 3 weeks ago. And I hadn't watched the first season in 2021 when it first came out. I actually watched it right before watching the second season.
Hmm.
So I really just started getting into it. But I definitely love the characters in season one. And I feel like they casted really well. I feel like they all um they they really I don't know the word. They really ah I lost the word.
It's okay.
They really it really had a spark in me.
Right, it's Spark. Okay. Um, weren't you surprised at the very end the elderly man was involved?
Yes. I was so surprised. I was like, "Wait, no, he seems so innocent."
That's what that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. He was involved from the very beginning.
Uh-huh. And during the marbles game when he died, I was crying so much.
But he didn't die.
I know, and then at the end, I was like, What?
So that's why I was confused. I was like, wait, who is this? And I was like, he didn't die. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow. And so it was so interesting how they made it. To me, it's really good horror movie. But
Yeah, it was it was really creative because it's like they make you think that he died, but he really didn't.
yeah, I know. It's so weird. I agree with you. I was mind blown. I had to pause for a minute. I was like, wait, didn't he just die a couple of minutes ago or something like that? It's like, and then you rewind and you're like, wait, yeah, he did die. And you go back where you were and you're like, where did he come alive somewhere where he didn't die? So it's a really good Squid Game. I love it. You've seen the
Yeah.
second one, right?
Yeah. In the second one, I was like, because I remember the front man in season one is the same character as 001 in season two. And I was like, what? I was like, there's something about 001, that's all.
Right. It's a good one. It's a good one. You
Yeah.
know, it to me, I'm still mind blown that you like horror movies. Because I just I'm trying to get my mind off of it. But as a young actress, I thought you'd be talking about Disney characters or Barbie or etc. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. What really got you into a horror movie?
Well, I feel like I'm not really I think also because I'm better at like drama scenes, so that just makes me want to watch more dramatic, and I feel like horror has more drama scenes in it. And I
Okay,
feel like
okay.
since I'm better at that, I watch more of that, and
hmm
that just really gets me into it more.
So now I understand. Do you believe that you're kind of learning the lines easier from that?
Yeah, definitely.
And what have you noticed like in drama scenes like you were mentioning?
Well, in drama scenes, also with the lines in drama scenes, sometimes they go a bit slower, and sometimes like I actually get a chance to think about the line and how I want to say it, and I could get more emotion out when it's slower. So I feel like drama scenes really help with that, and that's why I really like horror drama.
Okay. Interesting. I learned something new about you. The audience has. Martial arts. What got you into martial arts? Because no offense, you don't look like a person who does martial arts.
That's what a lot of people tell me. Um, but when I was five, I started at a martial arts place. And
Okay.
at first, when I went in, I was super scared. And I was like crying. I was like, no, I don't want to go in. But once I started, I was like, huh, huh, huh. I was so strong. And I didn't realize how strong I was before. And I went to one of the tournaments when I was younger, and I got second place. But and I only lost because I wasn't as fast as the first place girl. But it's okay because that was still really good for my age. I was probably either five and a half or
hmm
six. But um, that's what really made me want to get more into martial arts. But when I moved, I stopped for a while because I felt like I couldn't handle everything, especially with moving in. And then I also started dance, and then school started, everything started. So,
Wow.
and then I started last year, and I was like, wow. And then whenever I do like front kicks and stuff, they're like, whoa, you are a complete martial artist. And I'm actually thinking of getting private training so that I can work on it more and
hmm
actually put it into my resume.
Well, that's amazing. And you never know, you may get like stunt moves or karate moves in your acting. And I'm gonna guess that you're watching like the Karate Kid.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
watched like Power Rangers, Karate Kid, like all of those.
those are good ones. Any upcoming roles?
Yes, actually, next week I'm filming for a movie, and I'm not really allowed to say what it
Which I
is,
totally
but
understand because, and I hope the audience will understand as well, because you sign and everything. But
yeah,
it's coming out next week, okay?
or
And
I'm filming next
oh,
week.
you're filming next week. Okay, I
Yeah,
apologize. And
it's
any other
okay.
upcoming roles?
Um, Not for acting, but that's it for acting. But in May, I'm going to Cannes, France for the Cannes Fashion Week, and I'm going to be modeling for a designer there, and we get to go on like those red stairs, those really big red stairs.
Amazing. You get to travel the world for modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it to me, it seems like it's more than acting.
Yeah, sometimes it can be more than acting because modeling, um, it's like, designers can just randomly pull you and say, hey, can you be here on this day and can you be there on that day? And it's a lot easier because acting, it's like there's a bunch of people from all over the world, and
Hmm.
um, directors, they, I know that they look for like a certain type where modeling, it's really sort of out to the open now. It's not completely out to the open, but it's definitely more diverse and they have more variety of
Right.
models. So it's like they can really choose anyone and ask you to be there. But
Hmm.
sometimes you have to audition to get in.
For modeling.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know no there was mo audition for modeling.
Yeah, like I went to the LA fashion show earlier this year, and I went straight from school after because they said that that was the last chance. So I went there and then I did my walk, and then they were like, "Hey, are you a kid or an adult? Because we don't know where to put you because you're really tall, but you also look like a kid." And I was like, "I'm a kid." So they put me into into where all of the kids are. And yeah, it really depends on your age, how tall
Hmm.
you are, your body type, but sometimes all of that doesn't matter and they just really pick whoever.
Wow, so you're tall for your age.
Yeah, I tower over my friends.
If you mind me asking, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6.5". I'm almost 5'7".
Wow, that is tall. That is very tall. Um, who really inspired you and impacted you in your life so far?
Do you mean like family member or like
Family member and,
celebrity?
and acting members as well.
Okay. Um, Family member, I feel like my mom definitely did because she's the one who's really been there for me the whole time, and she's always supported me and helped and like paid for traveling and stuff like that. So I feel like she's definitely the one because she's been there the whole time.
Hmm.
And then for acting, I feel like Zendaya, she's like my idol. I love her so much.
Me
And
too.
I feel like I really relate to her because as because I'm tall and she's really tall too. And I feel like when you're taller and you're still a kid, it's sort of hard to get roles because you can't um act older because it starts getting into like teen drama stuff and stuff like that. So I feel like she just really helped me keep going because I know that one day I could be like her and I could be famous one day.
You never know. It can happen. You really don't know. Nobody doesn't know when their big role is going to be, and that
Yeah.
could be the spotlight, right? Um, so just a little some funny questions. Would you rather be stuck in an elevator or stuck in a room where you can't get out?
I would rather be stuck in an elevator
Okay, why is
because
that?
I feel like elevators, at least the elevator, it would have, I think most elevators have music.
Oh,
So
okay, yes, I think you're right. Okay.
so I feel like at least there would be some music to comfort me. Whereas in a room, I feel like it would sort of just be silent and there would be like, it would just be me sitting there and being like, let me out, let me out. We're in an elevator. I could just be
Okay.
listening to the music.
Okay. What are five things that you can live without? Or correction, what's five things you cannot live without?
Um, my family, my phone, um, my friends. Whoa. Like my toothbrush
Toothbrush, okay.
and my toilet.
Okay, okay.
Oh, wait,
Toothbrush, I
wait,
understand.
wait,
I understand,
wait,
friends.
wait,
Um,
not toilet, actually, food and what? Wait,
oh,
not
sorry, food
toilet
and
and
water.
yeah, yeah,
That was
food
my
and
fault.
water. I forgot about
Misheard you.
those.
I misheard you. I apologize. Um, what is the people that you want to be with if you were in an escape room?
I would really want to be with Albert Einstein because he's so smart and I feel like I would be like, "Hey Albert, what's this? Hey Albert, what's that?" Or like, "Hey Mr. Einstein, what's this? What's that?" And then he would be like, "Oh, sorry. You just have to do this, move this around, and there, we're off to the next room." I feel
Okay,
like,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. That's true. That's true. Um, now four people. Okay, pick four people that you want to be in an escape room with, and who would be the person that would panic the most, and who would be the person who would calm everybody down.
Okay. I would want to be with my friend Layla, my friend Michaela, my friend Sophia, um, and my mom because okay, I feel like the person who would be panicking the most would be my friend. Actually, no, I feel like the person who would be panicking the most would be me. Like, okay, under when I'm under pressure, I panic. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? And then I start like running around and I'm like just pressing random, like if we were in escape room, I would be pressing random stuff and messing everything up. And I feel like the person to calm me down would be my mom because my friends, I feel like they would just laugh and I would too. I would too, honestly. Like if they were like that, I would laugh and then I would be like, it's okay, it's okay. Um, I feel like my mom would just be like, it's okay, nothing's gonna happen. We won't die.
I mean, true. Do you think she can calm everybody down?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But if you were living on an island, okay, what are four things you have to have? Well, of course, no offense, you can't say toilet. I misheard you earlier, but we can't say toilet because island, there's nothing there, right? So, what are four things that you must have? I'm pretty sure cell phone wouldn't work because,
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be like, say, signal, and there'd be nothing. So,
Yeah.
what was four things you need to have?
Um, I would have food. I would have water. I mean, there's the ocean water, but that's salty, and there's also a lot of bacteria in there, so I don't know if I want to drink all of that.
Hmm.
So food, water, uh, another person with me,
Who would that be?
probably my mom,
Okay, okay.
and then probably a blanket
Very
because
true. Because it gets
um even if I have clothes, like I feel like it'd still be really cold, especially with the water.
very true. Because at night may get cold. You know, I really can tell your mom has impacted you.
Yeah.
And that is amazing. And It's just the family support. You can tell, I can tell, and it's good to have that family support in this entertainment industry, and it's because I think a lot of people who are now getting into the entertainment industry, you really want to have the family support, right? And
Yeah,
then
definitely.
you have the entertainment industry supporting you in the back. So, and I do see you occasionally, and you and your mom make some funny videos,
Yeah.
the cooking videos, and other stuff. So, I really can tell you guys have that close connection, and that's one thing I love. That's amazing. So, I just want to mention that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, what is your motivation message, encouragement message that you want to tell all the upcoming young actors or upcoming actors who want to get into the entertainment industry and they're nervous and they'll be listening to this on the podcast platforms and on YouTube? What is your encouragement message to let them know to go and try the entertainment industry?
Well, I would definitely just say be patient because it does it sounds easy, but it really isn't because you could audition for something and then not book the role, but 2 years later be super successful and stuff like that. So be patient and really believe in yourself and be humble because believing in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, you probably won't do as good on like auditions and
Hmm.
stuff like that or callbacks or anything. So if you really believe in yourself, then you'll have the courage to go back up even after a no and be the best you can. And then be humble because you don't want to be known as the girl who's like, oh my gosh, I'm so good. I am just too good. Like, you don't want to be that kind of person. So be humble so that because people will really look up to you a lot, especially
Hmm.
if you are humble. So, yeah, I would definitely just say follow those and you'll be good.
That's amazing. You're right. Being humble and be focused and everything you said was amazing to the messages out there to get everybody in, being in the entertainment industry, you're right. It's tough, but you gotta be humble and you gotta keep the courage and keep that faith going, right? And
Yes.
don't let anybody tell you differently. Don't you have we have to one thing I noticed in the entertainment industry, we have to ignore the negative comments and negative
Yeah.
feedbacks, right? Because we're gonna get
Yes.
that in the entertainment industry for sure. And it's tough because I think a lot of people will be wondering how can we ignore, right? Because when you're constantly getting it. So what is your message to let everybody know how to ignore negative comments?
Well, you know, whenever you get negative comments, it's usually people um who are jealous. No offense, but it's usually people who are
Hmm.
jealous because they're like, "Wait, how come she's doing or he's doing that or she's doing that and I'm not?" Um so I would just say ignore them and have that mindset that's like at least I'm doing this and I'm really working on my craft and stuff like that. And yeah,
That's true. I totally agree with you. I totally, we have to ignore them. And it's usually people who are jealous. That's 100% sure. So
yeah.
I like that feedback and amazing. I really appreciate you for coming on. I
Thank you
really
for
do.
having me.
Where can people find you on
You
social
can
media and etc.?
you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and Facebook at the official dot Ahnnika MV.
And
And it should be the first one to show up.
okay, and that'll be on YouTube and all your social media platforms. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically on all social media.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Is there any last message you want to tell the audience?
Just keep believing in yourself and you'll get to where you want to be someday.
Very true. I cannot wait to have you back on the
Thank you.
show. I want to hear about all your upcoming roles. Yeah, I really do.
Definitely.
And we're definitely going to stay in touch. I can't wait to have you back to talk about your upcoming roles, your upcoming models that you've done, and of course your martial arts and stuff. So
Yes.
please keep me updated. We'll stay in touch, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and be safe during the wildfires out there. And it's tough, and I pray for everybody out there in California. So be safe.
Thank you.
All right, I talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.